Recto Law. What is the Recto Law? It is also known as the Installment Sales Law. It covers contracts of sale of personal property by installments and contracts purporting to be leases of property, with option to buy when the lessor has deprived the lessee of the possession or enjoyment of the thing. The Recto Law comprises Articles 1484 to 1486 of the Civil Code. What is its purpose? Its purpose is to prevent potential abuses by the seller in the event that the buyer is unable to make further installments for a property. The Recto Law provides for the remedies of the vendor in installment sales of personal property. These are the following. 1. Exact fulfillment of the obligation should the vendee fail to pay. 2. Cancel the sale should the vendee's failure to pay cover 2 or more installments. 3. Foreclose the chattel mortgage on the thing sold, if one has been constituted, should the vendee's failure to pay cover 2 or more installments. In this case, he shall have no further action against the purchaser to recover any unpaid balance of the price. Any agreement to the contrary shall be void. Remember that these remedies are alternative and not cumulative. If you choose one remedy, you cannot choose the others. The Recto Law also won't apply to a sale on a straight term, meaning in a sale where there is a down payment and the balance is payable in the future in a single payment only. Therefore, the Recto Law cannot be applied to these circumstances, and it is only in these circumstances that the deficiency may be recovered. 1. In case of sale on straight term. 2. If security foreclosed is other than the chattel mortgage constituted on the thing sold. 3. In the case of sale on execution of judgment in favor of the seller. As said earlier, the Recto Law also covers leases with the option to purchase. Moreover, a stipulation that the installments or rents paid shall not be returned to the vendee or lessee shall be valid insofar as the same may not be unconscionable under the circumstances. So, if the seller chooses the option of rescission or cancellation of the sale, it may be stipulated that the seller will not return any more the previous installments made by the buyer, as long as it is not unconscionable or unreasonable under the circumstances. In order to understand more the Recto Law, let's consider this illustration.
Dora would like to go on road trips and she would want to bring her friends along. So, Dora bought a white Toyota Hi-Ace van from Mr. Diego for 800,000 pesos. They both agreed that it would be a sale in installments and Dora would have to pay in 40 monthly installments of 20,000 pesos each. Mr. Diego wishes to have a security, but Dora has no other property. So, Mr. Diego required Dora to execute a chattel mortgage on the van. After paying the first 12 installments, Dora was experiencing some financial difficulties, leading her to default in paying the 13th one. Now, what is the remedy of the seller, Mr. Diego?
According to the Recto Law, the remedy of Mr. Diego is to demand fulfillment of the obligation, since this remedy applies regardless of the number of installments defaulted.
Now, let's say Dora was experiencing more serious financial difficulties and defaulted in the payment of the 13th, 14th, and 15th installments. Now, what can Mr. Diego do?
The buyer has already failed to pay 2 or more installments. Mr. Diego can choose to either 1. Exact fulfillment of the obligation. 2. Cancel the sale. 3. Foreclose the chattel mortgage on the things sold. Remember that since these remedies are alternative, Mr. Diego can only choose one.
Mr. Diego chose the remedy of rescission. What are the buyer's and seller's rights and obligations in rescission?
Mr. Diego chooses to cancel the sale. Dora is obliged to return the van and can demand the return of the installments already made, unless there is stipulation about forfeiture. On the other hand, Mr. Diego is obliged to return the payments Dora already made and is entitled to the return of the van.
However, if Mr. Diego chooses to foreclose the chattel mortgage, what will happen?
Mr. Diego will get the van and sell it at a public auction. If the van was sold for 800,000, then well and good. However, during the public auction, the van did not command a high price and was sold for only 500,000.
In this case, can Mr. Diego demand Dora to pay for the deficiency?
According to the Recto Law, no. Even if there is a deficiency, the buyer is not compelled to pay for it. Therefore, Mr. Diego shall have no further action against the buyer for any deficiency.
So thanks to the Recto Law, at least on the part of Dora, she has no van anymore. But on the brighter side, she has no obligation as well to pay for the deficiency.